I feel like it's been a while since I've done like a video like this, so we'll see how it goes. Hello and welcome to my channel, The Danish One. My name is Suka and today I will be giving you 10 series that I am super excited to start. I feel like I normally talk about these series I need to finish. These are books that I need to read this year. And now I kind of want to look toward the future and be like, okay, so when I've finished all of my lists and stuff, which are potential series to go on my series to finish for next year? But before that, I obviously need to start these books. So I think this is more likely to be a bunch of books that will be on my priority for next year. I do have like 2 or 3 books here that are actually on some of the lists, so we'll see where they go next year. I also have some that I haven't really thought much about lately, some middle grades as well, that, come to think of it, I'm actually super excited to go into these series. So let's have a look. I'm gonna take the 3 middle grades that I have first. And the first one, I don't even remember how I found it. I haven't heard many people talk about it, but this is called The Forgotten Five: Map of Flames by Lisa McCann, which just sounds super cool. So let me just, read it to you. 15 years ago, 8 supernatural criminals fled Stereo City to make a new life in an isolated tropical hideout. Over time, 7 of them disappeared without a trace, presumed captured or killed, and now the remaining one has died. Left behind to fend for themselves are the criminals' 5 children, Birdie, Brix, Seven, Tenor, and Cabot, each with superpowers of their own. Then Birdie finds a map among her father's things that leads to a secret stash and a note. Go to Estero, find your mother, and give her the map. The 5 have lived their entire lives in isolation. What would it mean to follow the map to a strange world full of things they've only heard about, like cell phones, cars, and electricity? A world where, thanks to their parents, being supernatural is a crime. I just feel like it sounds super cool, and like from the looks of it, we have one that like can turn invisible. This guy over here has like some sort of green magic like coming out of his hands. I'm presuming that he can like run super fast based on like how they drew him and his like running stance, and I'm not sure what the rest of them can do or even if what I'm saying is correct, but it just sounds so cool and I am like super ready to go into this adventure. This will probably be on many lists for next year if I don't read it beforehand, who knows. Next up we have Wonderscape by Jennifer Bell. I originally think that this was supposed to just be a standalone, but it looks like it has gotten a sequel, which officially makes it a series. So here we are. Why am I so excited for this? The cover. The cover has got me because like, if you know about my love for The Raven and the Dove and the universe there with the floating islands, you will understand why this cover with all those beautiful floating islands will immediately intrigue me. What I think is like super fun with this one is that you can clearly see the difference from all of the islands. Like we have one here that looks like just regular like trees and there are bridges going about, and then we have one here that's like dark and gloomy. We have one with like an amusement park, one with snowy mountains, and one that looks kind of like Japanese inspired. So I'm like super excited to see like how that plays into the story and also what it's even about, because like I don't know a damn thing about this, but I'm super excited to go into it, and I'm basing that solely on the design of the cover. 100%. And also I've heard good things about it. I'm not going to tell you what this one is about because I don't want to know. I don't think I've ever read what it's about. I've heard someone talk about it like a couple of years ago, and that was enough to make me buy it, and then I've forgotten all about it and I'm gonna leave it like that. Next up we have Rumblestar by Abby Elphinstone, and I believe that this follows like different stories for every single book in the series, which is something that I actually do really like. I'm not sure if we're following the same people going through different adventures in every single book, or if it's like a complete new series every single time. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. If it's the same characters, I think that would also be fine. But the fact that we're getting like a completely like new adventure in somewhere new for every single book, I think that's super cool. It looks like this one here has something to do with like hot air balloon ride, maybe some exploring, and there's a castle. It looks like it could be in like a European-esque country because of like all the mountains. That is what I'm getting from it, because castles like this and the mountains, it reminds me of like southern Germany, Austria kind of vibes. So that is what I'm like getting from here. I know that the second one is called Jungle Drop, so that has something to do with like it's set in a jungle, obviously. It just sounds like such a fun adventure, and I'm actually super excited to go along with it. Now we're gonna move on to the YAs. First up, I'm gonna talk about the ones, I think that there are 3, maybe 4 that are on my list. So I'm gonna talk about those, because obviously I'm excited for them. First up, we have Blood Cyan by Deborah Falley. The cover. Like, can we just... I remember when I got this from Fairy Loot, I was super excited about it, and then I just never really got to pick it up. Like, story of my life. So if I remember correctly, this is on my Fairy Loot knockout, because I want to read it, obviously. I also feel like I've only heard good things. Like, I haven't heard a lot, but what I've heard have been good things. Also, she is like a descendant of a fire god. Like, why wouldn't you? That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Next up, we have And I Darken. I don't remember a whole lot about what this is about. I feel like, once again, I've heard really good things for this series, and it is actually one of the series that I need to finish this year, despite not having started it, and that is just because I'm super excited for it. Also, normally I don't like people on my covers, but the way that this character design is done, I'm like, okay, that's super cool, that's super intriguing, I'm here for it. So once again, I think this one is largely because of the cover and what I've heard of it, and also heads will roll, hearts will be broken. Hopefully not my heart. Next up, I have Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles. I've had this for so long, so of course I want to start this series. I believe that this is on my A to Set TBR maybe for W, but I'm really not sure. But yeah, I have had this for a while. I believe that it is circus themed, but I actually don't know because there is no blurb on this whatsoever. I don't know what it's about. I'm not sure if I actually have looked it up on Goodreads. I think at some point I had, but I don't remember and I don't want to. The vibes that I'm getting from the cover of the book and what I think I remember to know with the circus vibes and stuff is enough to make me want to read it like ASAP. Also, the stage is set. The spectacle awaits. I'm excited. I do have the sequel here, so I could potentially just read it, you know, back to back, but am I good at that? No. But I might put this on as a series that I need to finish for next year. Who knows? Next up, we have a book that I also believe is on some type of list for this year, but I'm not sure which one. We have Threads That Bind by Kika Hatzopoulou. This follows the descendant of the Greek fates. The firstborn was the spinner who could weave new threads. The second was the drawer. She could elongate or shorten a thread, intensifying or weakening the corresponding feeling. And the youngest was the cutter, able to cut whatever thread she desired, even life threads. Cutters were the dangerous ones. I have a feeling that our main character will be this cutter, and I am super intrigued by it. Like, yes, please, let's get on with it. I'm so excited. This is probably, of all the books on this list, this is probably the one that I'm most excited for. If it's on one of my lists, I will try and prioritize it for this year. But damn, am I excited for this. The final 3 books are just kind of, well, not random because I'm super excited for them, but they're not on any lists. They're not really books that I've thought much about recently or when I made the lists, but these will definitely be lists for next year. First up, we have Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Weber. I believe that this follows like 2 princesses who have been like separated at birth, and then they probably have to like duel or something for the throne, because it says 1 throne, 2 princesses. So I'm guessing that there will be like some type of rivalry between them. Oh yeah, it says in the battle for the crown of Vienna, where will your allegiances Allegiances lie. And then we follow Princess Rose and Ren. Like, Ren was stolen from the palace at birth, and Rose have been raised at the palace, like with her parents and stuff. So I'm super excited for this. The only thing, like, I love this edition, this beautiful Fairy Loot paperback edition, but they're not making the sequels. And I hate that because this just does not match with the rest of the series. So if I like this, I will be getting like the original cover, which I'm not, you know, the biggest fan of, but I want my books to match. It's a disease, I know it. Next we have Daughter of Sparta by Claire M. Andrews. This sounds cool, okay? Just, you know, 17-year-old Daphne has spent her entire life owning her body and mind into that of a warrior, hoping to be accepted by the unyielding people of ancient Sparta. But an unexpected encounter with the goddess Artemis, who holds Daphne's brother's fate in her hands, upends the life she worked so hard to build. 9 mysterious items have been stolen from Mount Olympus, and if Daphne cannot find them, the gods' wanting powers will fade away. The mortal world will descend into chaos, and her brother's life will be forfeit. Excuse me? It sounds so cool. It also says that it is a reinterpretation of the classic Greek myth of Daphne and Apollo. I'm excited. I am so excited. The final book on the list is a Danish one. I've talked about it before. It is Shameless Daughter by Lene Capable. I'm super excited for this book. This is a bind-up of the first 2 books, and I also have like the last 2 books. So I could potentially, you know, read the entire thing back to back, which, as I said before, I'm not good at, but I want to be better. I don't know why I haven't read many Danish fantasies. There's not a whole lot of them, at least to my knowledge, and the ones that there are is a like very urban fantasy, and I don't like that. So this, I know, is not an urban fantasy. I'm just super excited, honestly. I remember everybody loving this when I was younger, so we'll see what the hype was about. That was it. That was 10 books that will probably be on my series to finish for next year. Well, one of them is already on there for this year, so it won't be, but the rest of them could be, potentially. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you have read any of the series and what you think of them. If you just want to let me know that you're here but don't know what to comment, you can always leave a green heart. If you like this video, please hit the like icon, and if you want to see more of my bookish content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It would just mean the world to me. And until I see you next time, bye!